Hey guys, welcome to my film review of David Lynch's Inland Empire. This is his latest and last film that he's made. I've been looking online to see if he's making any new ones recently, and I haven't found anything about that yet. Inland Empire is the most inaccessible Lynch film to even a Lynch fan, I think, because I consider myself a fan of David Lynch. And I sat through the film once in its entirety, and that was yesterday. And twice I've tried to watch the film before that, and I only managed to watch up to the 40-minute mark because I was getting bored and tired, and I wasn't really in the mood for a David Lynch film. But following some discussion on a blog that I was reading, I thought it was worth my while just to sit and watch all the way through the film and see if it was actually good, give the film a fair chance, refresh my mind completely, and then go in and absorb everything that he's thrown out at me. The film's made in 2006, if I haven't already mentioned, but the main character, played by Laura Dern, is called Nikki Grace, who is a actor who's not a A-list actor, who's recently got a part in a new film which I have forgotten the name of. Co-starring alongside her within the film is Justin Theroux's character, Billy Side. His real life name in the film is called Devon, and this is where the film kind of gets its basis from. They're making a film together, which is a love film. It has I think it has an affair in it, and it's got kind of different things that you'd expect from a romantic drama. However, that's not really explored after the first hour of the film. Like the first hour of the film is very slow, and that's something that I have a problem with the film about. I don't mind that it's 3 hours long, but it does drag in places, and some of it can be extremely just hard to sit through just because it's really like nothing's seemingly happening. But after watching the whole film and looking back on it, I can understand why everything happened that way. So it's kind of a weird criticism. Like as I sat through the film, I found myself getting bored and restless. And then during the second third of the film and the second hour of the film, I started to really sink my teeth into it and just enjoy it. Well, until the part that scared me greatly. The first hour of the film is, like I've said, is kind of the most narratively accessible part of the film, which is weird because it isn't the most accessible piece of film to watch either. As I've mentioned, it's a tad boring. But in the second hour and the third hour, it turns into a surrealist dream state, kind of nightmare-fueled vision of everything that David Lynch has been known for and is loved for. I've seen every single one of his films apart from Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me and Dune, and that's because I haven't watched all of the TV shows Twin Peaks yet, and I do want to watch all of that before I watch Fire Walk With Me in case it spoils it. And Dune I just haven't gotten around to, but I think that Lynch's his LA trilogy, I don't know, sorry, yeah, David Lynch's LA trilogy, which was made up of Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire, all kind of comes together in this massive just cacophony of just wonderment and everything Lynchian that I've ever seen from any of his other films and some of his paintings and short films and music videos. This film, I've already said it's hard to sit through, but if you're not one of those people who likes Lynch's kind of different creative dream state, surrealist environments and stories, then you're probably not going to enjoy this film as much as I did. My favourite film by David Lynch is, of course, Mulholland Drive. I think that's his best film, and this film, Inland Empire, feels like a kind of pseudo remake or retake on the ideas within Mulholland Drive. To me, the film itself is vastly about the film industry as a whole, and it's also about consumerism. Not so much as, say, like it doesn't really highlight it too much, but it's just kind of there, and it's just resting in my subconscious. I Yeah, I absolutely loved this film after sitting through the entire thing. As much as the start bored me, the second and third hours of it were just unimaginable. I think that's the only word I could use to describe it. Now, a lot of people will already have seen the film watching this, and I did come up with my own kind of ideas for the film. I did a page of A4 notes, well, more than a page of A4 notes, but this is kind of like all my conclusions of ideas of what actually happened within the film. Now, I've heard that people say that you shouldn't really dissect these films, and that you should just let them wash over you and mean to you what you want them to mean. Now, for me, I already have an idea of what I want, what I feel from this film myself, and what I think it is. But I also wanted to dissect it and try and work out the narrative, because part of Mulholland Drive's charm was piecing together its puzzles and then resulting in something absolutely magically wonderful. Inland Empire scared the crap out of me. I'm not ashamed to say it. This film, there are parts in this film which absolutely terrified me. And I'm a massive horror film fan, and I haven't been scared watching a film in a very, very long time. But there were parts of this film where I had my hands close to my eyes, trying to shield the horrific visions that were within it. One of the images in the film I had seen before watching the film, but those who have seen the film and knew that image before watching the film, they will know that that image gets worse as in that short section of absolute horror and terror. It just gets a whole lot, like, it's a scary image to begin with, but then before you're shown the image, you're hit with the Lynchian music and the droning sounds and the kind of the going into your like subconscious of high-pitched noises that you can't really hear that make you feel unsettling. And it's incredibly unsettling music, and then something on screen, like, it seems to be very important, happens, and then bam, you're hit with this image with these sounds just crescendoing and getting louder, and you can't look away, but you're absolutely terrified. And it's like, it like scared me to the core. Like, I've not been scared of a film that much, maybe ever, and I'm very glad I hadn't watched this film when I was a little kid, because I'd probably be mentally scarred from those images that I'm talking about. Obviously, people who have seen the film will know. The film's plot, I've kind of already said it's about two actors. Well, it's about one actor. Well, it's about a woman watching an actor be an actor in a film, and I think the film itself is all about the creation of film and the art of film and how films are made and the acting of films, the direction, how different people observe films differently, how films impact people, and that this is why this film is so incredibly interesting to me. Now, this was on my shelf with all my other David Lynch films, and before I'd actually seen all 3 hours of it, I had the idea that I wasn't going to like it because I'd seen the first 40 minutes 2 times before, and it was just on my shelf, and it was kind of, oh, it just deserves to be there because it's got his name on it, but it's not really that good. But I have to say, after watching the entire thing, and I felt like, obviously I feel bad for not watching the entire thing the first time, but I really wasn't in the mood, and that film would have drained me completely. It drained me when I was in the mood, and I'm still thinking about this film, and after seeing this film, this is the biggest mindfuck film I've ever seen. There are so many things going on that you don't realise are important, that you'll sit down and you'll just be reminded of it and think, wow, that actually links into that, and that links to there, and this is there because that's there, and all these different things. Same with Mulholland Drive, but this kind of takes it to the next level. If I don't want to spoil Mulholland Drive within this review, but those of you who, the ending of Mulholland Drive is similar to the middle and ending of this film, and that is where it really, really shines. That's when Lynch's true colours come out, and as I think I've said it in this review already, this is where Lynch, everything that he's done kind of comes to this conclusion, and I I'm happy that this is the last film that he's made. Obviously, I want him to do more films, because I absolutely love his films. Even Wild at Heart, there are parts in it. I didn't like Wild at Heart at all. I didn't understand it. I didn't find it funny. I didn't enjoy it at all. But there are parts in it which are kind of malleable and you can kind of just take and are kind of enjoyable. But yeah, like I said, this film, the more I think about this film, the more it becomes, it like ranks higher in the films of David Lynch. This film is just absolutely incredible. I love the film, but I can understand people who do not love the film. I can understand people being disturbed by the film, being bored by the film, tired by the film, challenged too much by the film, not wanting to think about what they're watching. You know, if you're going into a film for entertainment purposes alone, you probably shouldn't see this film. And some people will not like this film. But if you like the films of David Lynch, chances are you will like this film. I am probably going to do my opinion about what the film's about later on sometime. But yeah, this is just an incredible experience. Not only is the sound design so perfectly scary, creepy and surreal, the fact that this film is shot on handheld, not always handheld, but consumer grade kind of digital camera really adds another layer of just gritty disgust to it, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to sound incredibly pretentious, because I like films that are shot on film, but I don't mind films that are shot on digital. But that's like a debate going on currently in Hollywood. But this film was shot fully on digital, which allowed David Lynch to do certain things, but it also gives it a rather interesting quality to the film. And the quality of the cameras that they were using aren't as good as you would have expected. So the quality is kind of gritty and dirty almost. And occasionally the film will go into slow motion, and because of the way that the video is being recorded and shot, it's almost like a watercolor painting in slow motion, and it's incredibly beautiful. I think David Lynch has created something that's just absolutely sublime, and people should watch it just to see what it's like. It is, of course, an art film, but it's the most arty of all of David Lynch's films, I think, and one of his best. Mulholland Drive still sits there at the top, but this comes very, very close in second and third place. This have been my initial thoughts and reactions of David Lynch's Inland Empire. If you want to comment or rate or subscribe, feel free to do so. I have a couple more reviews on my channel. I'm probably going to do a lot more reviews of David Lynch's stuff, seeing as I've got all of his films and have seen pretty much all of them. I should probably put them all together and then do an analysis and a top 5 and a top whatever of all of his films as well. My thoughts on him as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you go out and watch this film. I've tried very hard not to spoil it at all. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll be doing more of Lynch in the future. Bye.